December football out in the nation's capital is all about pride and evaluation. And with the playoffs out of reach for the Dallas Cowboys, they shifted their focus. It was about execution and finishing the year off strong, and that they did. 30-23 the final out in Washington. The Cowboys get their first win in over 4 weeks, snapping a 3-game losing streak. We're breaking it all down here on Cowboys Flashback. I'm your host, Nicole Hutchison. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, this Cowboys dictated the tempo from start to finish. They leaned on a physical and aggressive run game. Of course, the aggressive decision-making as well that helped build an early lead, and those points paying off late as Washington tried to make a second-half comeback. And on the defensive side of the ball, it was not spectacular, but it was steady. The Cowboys, of course, forced long drives. They were able to be elite on third downs, but ultimately it came down to two things: no pass rush consistently and breakdowns in communication. But they played enough complementary football to get the road win and to snap a 3-game losing streak.
I thought, we've talked about the relentless play style. We've talked about that all week on a short week because we knew we couldn't get pads popping during the week, but we knew we had to play a physical game. When you guys go in there, you'll see a few of the guys look like they were just in literally a heavyweight title fight. Malik Davis's arms all beat up and bloody, his eyes swollen. We were running out of bodies there at the end on offense. 80-something plays, 38 minutes time possession. But again, at the end of the day, it was a physical game, and I'm just really proud of these guys.
Fourth down, obviously you talk about third down, sets up fourth down, but the fact that you did convert from 5 fourth downs, how big is that in a game like this?
Yeah, that was kind of the plan going in, but why? The plan is you got to play yourself into those situations, and we weren't being cavalier, we weren't being reckless with it. We were getting ourselves into fourth down and 2 or 3, and we trust our guys to make plays, and I think they did it. I think it was 6 for 6 is what they told me, again, I think that's a huge part of the time of possession.
Clarence Hill, Bill Lewis, Cowboys. The season was Dak has been sharp most of the season. His first game under 60% passing. Didn't seem like he was as sharp as he's been, but at the end of the day, 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and then keep converting fourth downs in the fourth quarter. You talking about that?
Yeah, his game again was incredible. He's been playing so good. He missed some throws. He'd like to have some throws back. I'd definitely like to have some calls back. There were some calls there that I just really didn't like. I thought DQ had a better call than me in a number of areas. But again, the leadership, the guy made plays with his legs. The guy, we don't convert those fourth downs without Dak. I thought that's where he was really, really sharp. And, again, the way this guy competes is just special, Clarence. And wasn't surprising to me that we finished on the field with the ball, and he did it with his legs with the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, winning's fun. Winning's great, especially when you get to do it on Christmas. You get to do it to end a 3-game losing streak. And you get a division game on top of that. It's all fun. Winning's fun. It's what you do it for. We wanted to end that losing streak and wanted to make sure that we can finish this game and next week on a high note and getting wins and just taking good momentum into the offseason. So this was an important one.
Do you get to keep that red jacket? And if so, what are you going to do with it?
Definitely get to keep it. Thought about wearing it in here. It's just hot, and I'll probably be in it all weekend, to be honest with you. So just hanging around the house. They will.
Nick Harris, former Star Telegram. Jadeveon Clowney, obviously he's given you guys a lot of better leadership throughout the season, but specifically these last couple of weeks and then today's performance. Put all that together.
Yeah, he's a man. We're fortunate to have him. He's one of those guys that we've got to figure out a way to keep. I know Jadeveon, being older, being the vet he is, has a lot to say so, and hopefully we made the great impression and he's enjoyed this year because he's a guy that we can benefit. We can benefit having for a full off season and just growing into next year with just his leadership and just the way that he approaches the game and the way he teaches the young guys or that they can learn from him. You said it, he's done it since he showed up and has gotten better week in and week out, and just to see this game tonight, him make the play, him chase down Debo in the long play and then dang near get the sack but almost a fumble a couple plays later, and then just plays after another. He's a guy that loves the game. You can feel it. Any conversations you have with him, he's a great teammate.
Some dope words coming from QB1 on Jadeveon Clowney, who, of course, had 1.5 of the 2 sacks that the Cowboys were able to get against the Commanders. But we're going to switch over to the offensive side of the ball. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer touching on that time of possession. They had 38 minutes. That's the highest time of possession they've had since 2023. How are they able to do it? Well, hello, Malik Davis. We're breaking it all down up next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Welcome back into Cowboys Flashback. Cowboys 30, Washington Commanders 23, and the Cowboys get their 7th win of the season. We've got it all here on Cowboys Flashback. Now, opportunity met preparation for Malik Davis in Week 17. You talk about a guy who was thrusted into a much bigger role because Javonte Williams left out early with a shoulder injury, and he absolutely delivered. How about a career day for him? His first 100-yard rushing performance. Also a career high in carries and rushing yards with over 100. He averaged 5.2 yards per carry, giving this offense some balance, some control, and a late season, of course, they get their road win.
With Malik and what he was able to do from where he was in August or July, whenever the heck we were in Oxnard, to now.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I can. You know, when we let Malik go, you know, we had just kind of talked about, like, hey, maybe a change of scenery is good for you. And that's kind of, I mean, literally he and I had that conversation. We said, hey, change of scenery is good. And some guys figured it out. And he went home and he sat home and he had a couple workouts, but nobody bit. And when he came back, Todd, he was a different person. The way he approached everything, from the preparation, from the professionalism, everything was different. And that's the power of being on the outside looking in. And from the day he came back and walked into Oxnard and I saw him, I knew it was different. And he's played incredible well. He got over 100 yards today. I was trying to, in 4 minutes, trying to get him the ball, and literally I looked over and he was like this. His eye is all swollen. I mean, it looked like he took a right hand from Tyson. But again, I'm so proud of him, man. He ran hard. Offensive line, I think we had 210 yards rushing today. We ran the ball really, really well. Big part again of the us controlling the clock, time of possession.
And then you talked to us before about year one of the program. How much did winning that last game to not have a losing record matter?
Again, you know, we want to win. We play to win. 8-1. Let me do the math. Sounds way better than the alternative. But again, the other thing is right now we sit at 4-1 in the division. It's a pretty good division. Historically, it's been one of the best in football, and you can see how physical the games are just by watching today's game.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how big of a fan I am, Malik. I know I said it, you know, when he first got his opportunity, and he's went in and he's continued to just build off of that, honestly. And this game right here was another example of that. His number was called, and he went out there and was physical. You know, honestly, he didn't know it, but I checked the stats late in the game and saw he had 90 yards, and I told him, you know, he go get 10 more and finish this game. You can get that 100. And you know, I actually don't normally check that. I just looked up and saw we had almost 200 yards rushing, and I said, dang, Malik must be close. And I wanted to get that for him, and glad he went and got it. Right? He did, right? Yeah, glad he went and got it, and he's deserving of it. He's a hell of a player, and he's only going to get better. It's the way that he approaches the game. It's his mindset in life, and we're thankful to have him.
How bad was his eye at that point when you told him? Was it swelling up shut?
No, I don't think it was swollen yet. I think I told him that, and then it got swollen. I'm like, I think you need 5 more. But actually, when I saw him, he's like, I think I got hit in the eye. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely did. Go to the sideline. Like, yeah, his eye was, yeah, he'll be okay, thankfully. But that's ugly.
Malik Davis has bounced from being waived to released to the practice squad within the Cowboys organization for years. So it's good to see him finally taking advantage of his opportunity and it paying off. He's going to be needed against the Giants. That run game, one of the best of the season, the best of the season, 211 rushing yards. Definitely needed next week in Week 18. But we've got George Teague joining the show up next. We step into the film room.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Cowboys Flashback. Nicole Hutchison alongside George Teague. We're going to step into the film room in just a second. But first, we got to talk this offensive side of the football. When they found its rhythm, right, it started up front through this run game. The tempo, the physicality all worked together to set the tone. But what ultimately clicked for this unit? I don't know. Let's ask Tyler Smith.
I mean, I think we just had a good marriage of running pass, complementary plays, moving the ball really well, no self-inflicted wounds, no penalties to start drives on special teams or offense. So I think when we were at our best, we were just moving really efficiently. I think where they got us is coming out of the half. We kind of stalled ourselves a little bit, kind of got ourselves behind the sticks. We didn't convert the way we wanted to, so it's just about being consistent with those things.
It's real crazy how they wait till week 17 to have a season high 211 rushing yards, but still, I like the numbers. We love it to see it here, but it all started as well with a Cavante Turpin that helped this Cowboys team extend that lead. What did you like from Cavante Turpin?
Man, speed. First of all, speed. He turned on the Turpins, the Jets. So,
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man, it's just good to see, right? And particularly when you can pick on something where sometimes coaches get a little too fancy for themselves. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I want to show you what typically is going to be a cover two. You would say, George, this is not cover two with this guy standing right here in the middle. I know, but he comes down, and these two guys go back, right? Which exploits this guy to run right past him. Man, and when you get a free release by that guy, Cavante Turpin, just nobody gets his hands on him. You just gonna let him sprint down the field? Come on, man, what are you thinking? This guy's going for 86 yards untouched. Yeah, man, yeah, I love it. There's just good things happen like that, right? And even when you look at the front end or the back end, you can see that the pocket. We talk about do they block well enough up front here? Yes, they do in this case. Gives Dak a lot of time. Man, I can catch that one, Nicole. Yeah. I can catch that one.
Yeah, okay, we need to run the receipts. We're going to do that soon. But no, I want to make sure we do highlight that interior. Cooper Beebe, of course, yes. Tyler Booker as well, just because Dak Prescott was facing a lot of pressure from the interior the week before. So definitely a step forward in that aspect. But on the other side of the football, the defensive line, of course, Jadeveon Clowney, one of the constants for that defensive end room. What'd you like from him?
And this is a skill set that he has that a lot of people struggle with. We call it an ET stunt. End going first, tackle coming around. It creates confusion with these two guys because they have a man-to-man. So when you let the guy go first, some would call this maybe like a pick play because the tackle will start to come off, then it gives a free rush for Clowney. When you got good coverage on the back end, they're playing man-to-man, it gave him enough time to be able to get there and get him on the ground.
Absolutely, and you talk about a defense that, started off pretty well, held the Washington Commanders to a field goal and then a punt, and of course gave up a touchdown that third offensive drive. But for the most part, they did just enough to have a decent performance.
Well, just enough is not always good enough over the course of the season.
It's not, but you know what? It's okay. This Cowboys get the win. It's all right. But what do you want to see moving forward from this defensive side of the ball heading into the last week?
I like to see more man-to-man, more rush, more pass rush. Just try to figure it out. Send 4, 5, 6, whatever you do. Challenge the corners to see if they can actually play so that you know what you have to look for heading into the offseason.
Yeah, and it'll start from that defensive line. Up next, we're going to hear from Jadeveon Clowney of his performance and how this defense was able to bend but not break against the Washington Commanders.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
For this Dallas defense, it was all about bending but not breaking. You take away the 29 and 41, 72-yard explosive plays. I mean, it's safe to say that this Dallas defense did a somewhat decent job of limiting the damage from the Washington Commanders. You also talk about how they were elite on third downs per the stat sheet, holding the Commanders to 17%. They forced punts, held Washington to field goals, only gave up 2 touchdowns, but the story was still the same. Not enough consistent pass rush and still breakdowns on the back end in terms of communication. But this defense played well enough to solidify the road win.
Right, because we've been hard on Flus for the majority of the season, from the scheme to some of it's not him, some of it's on y'all, and some of it's a combination of both.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah, Is it
team effort, team thing.
Have you guys been rallying around him a little bit just because obviously he takes the criticism more than you guys do?
Yeah. I feel like, we know what we got in our rooms, and we know what the calls are. We know everything. So we just have to stick together. It's the only way that we're gonna get through this and build and grow. Is sticking together.
How big is to finish these last two? Obviously you won this one, and then next week you gotta go to New York.
Yeah, real big. We gotta finish strong.
Because we always talk about winning your division games, and then that's something you can carry on to the offseason. So you feel like we're halfway there to that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, just winning on our division. Our division, when we play each other, it's a hard game. It's a tough game every single time because we're familiar with us and we're familiar with them. So, it's always a tough matchup every time.
Yeah, the secondary having some fair share of struggles against the Commanders, but someone who did not necessarily have struggles, Jadeveon Clowney, who's been one of the bright spots for this defensive line. He had 6 pressures, 1.5 sacks on just 16 pass rushes. We've said this before, but I feel like it's necessary to really sink that one in. But against the run, he had 2 run stuffs for a loss or no game. That's the most in a game he's had this season.
Oh, very important. Just get it off us, man. It's been rough the last few games. We need to come out here and get a win.
You obviously had to ramp up. You didn't have a training camp, but over these past several weeks, looks like you found your groove. Just talk about where you are right now after having the kind of game you had against Washington.
Oh, yeah, I feel good. Like I told them, it's going to take me some time to get going. I come off the couch. They would slowly get me involved in the scheme, and it's worked out for me towards the end of the season. Next year, I just got to get ready a little earlier and stay ready, so I don't have to worry about that. But just having fun out there with the guys, man. And it's been a great season. I had a lot of fun playing football, and that's probably why I'm out there making a lot of plays, just having fun. And I ain't thinking about making plays, just thinking about having fun.
Why was it important to get this win?
I said next year. I mean,
what about it?
Is it?
It's up in the air for me. Oh, yeah, if they willing to bring me back. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm definitely going to play. I got a lot left in the tank. I ain't going to go sit on my couch. I'm going to stay ready.
Maybe sign a little bit earlier in free.
For sure. I'm trying to go to camp this year, so I get the rust off me and get going. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
How much fun are you having?
A lot, man. It's football, man. Everybody can't do it. It's a blessing for me to still be playing 12 years. I thank God every day for that. I have a lot of fun doing it. If I could have fun doing something else, I probably would, but I have so much fun doing this. I look forward to Sundays and big games and the spotlights and cameras and all of that. That's one thing I look forward to, and I think it brings the best out of me. Just like I said, just go out there and have fun with the guys.
Hey, y'all heard Jadeveon Clowney. He does not expect to be on his couch, sitting down on nobody's couch, specifically not his, this offseason. But the Cowboys have a lot of decisions to make. Are they going to re-sign Javonte Williams? Are they going to re-sign a George Pickens? Jadeveon Clowney, the list goes on. Hopefully we do see a Clowney back here in the 2026 season. Up next, we're wrapping things up here on Cowboys Flashback. We'll be right back.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, I think it was just extremely important, for the standard that we hold ourselves to in this organization. Ultimately, we're not where we want to be at this point in the year, but, the standard remains a standard. We're winners, and we're winners at heart, and everything we do, we try to win at.
Welcome back into Cowboys Flashback. Nicole Hutchison, and we are wrapping things up here on the show. But you guys just heard from Tyler Smith, our starting left guard / left tackle. He can play it all. But he had mentioned it was important for them to get this road win. It was important for them to get this win in general because it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And of course, this Cowboys team has had their fair share of struggles, ups and downs throughout the entire season. But now they've got their 7th win of the season against the Washington Commanders, of course. And now Dallas left with a little bit better of a feeling, not because of the win, but because how it was earned. You talk about a run game that was at its most efficient all season, 211 rushing yards. Of course, 103 of those coming from a Malik Davis, but you got some things from Hunter Lipke as well in the blocking game and the passing game. And it opened up some things in the passing game with a Kevontae Turpin 1 catch, 1 target for 86 yards, touchdown. This defensive side of the ball, of course, needs some work. There's still some growing pains as well, specifically about the defensive line. You saw some good things from Jadeveon Clowney, but this defense has allowed a touchdown or field goal attempt on 75% of their drives in the last 4 games. They're looking to clean that up as they get ready to take on the New York Giants. But now they're 7-8-1 in the season. But there's a different feeling when you're 8-8-1. Can the Cowboys get their 8th win of the 2025 NFL football season to finish off things strong? It's a noon kickoff against the Giants. We'll see if the Cowboys can keep the wins going.